I'm on my way to an oasis of calm here in the middle of busy London to meet Max and Tom from Obby for a new episode of my Meet the Maker series. I'm in London with Max and Tom from Obby, and if you want to learn a new craft or skill, these are the guys for you. Thank you so much for having the time to sit down with me, guys.
Thanks for taking the time.
You started Obby in 2016. What made you start this platform of crafts and workshops?
I think it's actually best for Tom to answer that one, given that you had the problem.
Yeah, so I was trying to find a butchery course for my father. He just weirdly said to me one day that he was really into butchery and wanted to learn more. Exactly, yeah, slightly random thought. So I went about trying to find the butchery course for him. Searched online. It was quite difficult. I did find one, and I booked him onto it. And then because of some circumstances, he actually couldn't go. But we couldn't get our money back because we weren't really protected at all. And it was just not really a whole great experience. So we basically went around looking how we can find teachers from all different areas, food, crafts, art, and make it easy for them to connect with their customers, basically.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that came about, and Tom and I were luckily already good friends and we're working together and all that stuff. But what we realised is that there's basically one big well-known butchery course in London, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to name any names, but they know who they are. And basically, like, they get all the press, right? They're in timeout. They have the 6-month waiting list and all that kind of stuff. But what we realized, through this process was, and we were just talking about it casually at work, was that there's they're not any better than your local butcher who will also teach you knife making skills, right? But they're very good at marketing themselves. And that's great for them, but it's a bit unfair on like everyone else who's probably just as good at doing these kind of things. And that kind of led us to the concept that, as the world has moved online and a lot of teaching has moved online and all that kind of stuff, it's actually been very hard for sort of local, small businesses, teachers, sole traders like Joe here, who runs London Greenwood, to get the word about her brand out there in a company that she teaches amazing classes. And we just kind of wanted to figure out a way to democratize that and make it easier for everyone to just teach a great workshop, And that kind of led us on to the idea.
So how do you go from butchery to printmaking, or everything in the middle that you guys offer?
Yeah, I mean, so that right now we only focus on arts and crafts and food and drink, and the reason for that is because we realized that when talking to friends or friends of friends, some of them have been on a crochet class, some of them have been pottery, some of them have been cooking, and it kind of felt like things that are quite hands-on, workshop-y, made the most sense to help people who, anyone can pick it up, anyone can teach it kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas if you get into things like languages and stuff like that, it's a bit more complicated. And that's how we decided what we should focus on. And then we just kind of went out and just talked to loads of teachers, talked to like the first 1 or 2 teachers who were interested in working with us, and realized that they had this problem. They're a small business, they struggle to get their name out there. But then we started talking to more and more, and we now work with over 200 teachers, and they're all the same. They all have on that they struggle to get the word out there.
Yeah, because you guys have a platform that crafters or people that do workshops can sign on with you guys, and then you market their workshops for them. Exactly. So for the clients, very easy. You just go to your website and you have the world on offer.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think to build on that from a crafting perspective, when we started talking to all the teachers, there was this overwhelming sense of community that we didn't really think about when we first started looking at it from a customer side.
Yeah.
And I think we are, quite prominent in arts and crafts, and I think probably because they are areas where the community is such an important aspect. So we have makers who all do slightly similar things, but then very different from each other, and they all want to help each other out. So, we find one calligrapher who is like, oh great, actually, I've got 3 friends that also do this. I'm going to get them on Obby as well. And so we've managed to build this kind of crafters and makers community, which has strengthened that part of the business.
Are you crafty yourself?
Or I went lino printing last weekend.
There you go.
I would probably not categorize myself as a die-hard crafter. I do really want to get more into woodworking. Specifically, I want to make a bench. I've told Jo this many times. Unfortunately, she doesn't offer any bench making classes yet. But that's probably where I would sit on the woodworking side of things. A bit like yourself, exactly.
That's on the website.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what is the weirdest workshop you guys have on offer? You think of everything you guys do. Is that one you think that is an odd one?
I've definitely got one.
Okay, so at the moment, our weirdest workshop that's probably being run at the moment, we have a workshop called Feminist Embroidery, which is an embroidery workshop which is relatively mainstream, but it's themed with a huge feminist vibe. So you pick your favourite feminists from a group and you basically embroider their faces and you have this whole chat about the thing.
I did Queen Bee.
Great. Yeah, we've done it actually.
It was her birthday, so I thought it'd be right.
Oh, you embroidered Queen Bee.
I embroidered. I embroidered Queen Bee. No, but I think similarly, and this might actually say more about people who run embroidery workshops. There's the other one that I think is quite weird and wacky is membroidery, where you can embroider your genitalia onto a hanging hoop.
Yeah,
Christmas present.
Yeah, exactly.
I think my grandparents in Germany would be very delighted to receive that for Christmas. Yeah.
What is your most popular course on the Obby website?
Well, changes kind of on a weekly basis.
It's seasonal as well.
Yeah, it is very seasonal. So I think over the summer we saw calligraphy was hugely popular. Pottery is very popular right now. Woodworking is popular now towards the end of the year and early in January. Crafts become very popular in December. People at home, they're knitting, they want to knit. Tom wants to knit himself a hat for his newborn son.
Yeah, so I went on a couple of crochet classes and have got a little hat for I've got a 4-month-old boy, and I'm trying to make a scarf at the moment. It's not going very well.
I might join you there because I can't knit. I do every craft possible. I can't knit or crochet.
Really?
So I might have to join you.
I've tried it a number of times now. I still got a few more. Yeah. Oh,
I can't read a pattern.
Yeah. I can do a square, but not much more.
So do you notice now that craft workshops are very popular? Because if you said you go to a craft workshop 10 years ago, people would have laughed at you and think it's very like an old lady thing to do. But it's cooler now to do crafts.
I wouldn't just say it's cooler. I think one of the things, the reason that we really like it is because it's kind of with this whole thing about offline and online, and kind of people really actually like the idea of doing something different with their time. If you look, without getting too boring, we both studied economics at university and all that kind of stuff, and there's like a general shift towards younger demographics getting more into, we grew up online and now you want to actually go offline and you want to have an opportunity to like disconnect, and it's about finding the balance, and Obby is kind of built to help people to find that balance. It's fine, maybe on a Saturday afternoon you want to go to the pub and maybe you spend most of your working day in front of a desk, but there are people who are increasingly wanting to be a bit more mindful and get offline and do some crafting or do some pottery and kind of just also educate yourself. And I think that's one aspect, and the other thing is just if you make it more presentable, and us as a centralized platform, if we can shout about all our amazing teachers like Jo, that just helps bring awareness, which is the second part, and that creates a sort of momentum, I guess, or like a movement, the crafters movement.
If you could design your dream workshop, what would it be? Anything you would really like to do, or any teacher?
So I've already talked about the bench, and I know who I want to do the bench making course with. So Goldfinger Studios, if you sign up to Obby, I'll be there. I'm ready. What would you do? My
dream workshop. It's difficult because I love food. As you can probably tell.
We're against body shaming here at Team Obby.
So
even if it's yourself.
I would want to do something related with food with a really top chef, but probably get some sort of art in at the same time. So I would love to be able to do like proper plate food art that you see in these amazing restaurants, right? And learn how they just make their presentation so fantastic.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
You on the Obby side next year?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I would probably also, just to put in a little plug, we are actually launching mindfulness and meditation courses soon.
Oh, great.
So that is one of the things that both loads of our customers asked for and we internally are very excited about, and that's probably also up there with one of the things that I'd like to do, because I like doing yoga and all that stuff. So
If there are makers out there that think, I can do that, I would really like to do those workshops, how can I get in touch with you guys to maybe work together?
So it's really easy. Just go to www.obby.co.uk. We've got an instant chat that is manned by one of us, real people all the time. So you can just talk to us, or you can just sign up to find out more at the bottom.
And are you through the whole of the UK or just London-based?
For now, we're just in London.
But the big plan.
Big plan.
World domination.
We'll kind of go with the flow and see how things develop. You know, if we see that there are other communities of crafters and makers and artists and generally teachers who would find a use of our product, then we'd love to go into that area. I'm from Germany. I'd love to bring Obby to Berlin one day.
You've got some good woodwork
Tom,
in Germany.
Exactly. Tom would love to take it to Cornwall or wherever
up north to Newcastle, Edinburgh, Leeds.
There's massive craft communities out there, so
exactly.
that'd be really good.
Yeah.
I think we talked quite a lot. I think it's time to do some wood carving.
Yeah, great.
I'm so excited. I've been wanting to wood carve for ages.
You're the expert, I guess.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. But have you guys ever done wood carving before?
Nope.
Not successfully. Before Obby, I tried and just cut myself. So I'm ready for a professional to show me.
Joe then.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are going to learn wood carving from Jo, and she's part of London Greenwood, which is a group of wood carvers that do rural crafts in the centre of London. We're in the middle of Hackney, it's a hustle and bustle of Hackney, and there's a bit of woodland here. And all the wood they use for their workshop is felled locally, and it's quite fresh as well, so it's really easy to carve. And they can teach you how to whittle, how to make a stool, but today we're going to carve a spoon. So Jo, I'm so envious of your job, because you work with wood every single day. What made you go rural in the city?
Chance, really. So I happened upon Greenwood working here at Abbey Cemetery in about 2008 because I had a bit of time off, and I saw someone was doing Greenwood workshop and kind of got into spoon carving that way, and gradually it took over my life.
What kind of workshops do you do for Obby?
Spoon carving, lots of that, a little bit of bowl carving, whittling, and I do some work with families as well. So from age 8 and upwards, working with a family member. We make stools, three-legged stools, very rustic three-legged stools together, and a bit of whittling as well with kids.
When people come on your workshop, would they really learn a new skill? Is it something they can take home and do themselves, or is it more a one-off, you make one spoon at your workshop?
Oh, the aim is definitely that it's the beginning of something. We run a community workshop here, so we're open every week for people to come and continue with their own projects. So I do an intro course for people to help people start that journey. So the aim is definitely that people would continue working with wood. I don't really like the idea so much that you come, you pay for a day and you make one spoon, then you never do anything ever again. It's much nicer if it's something that people continue, and we try and support people to do that, advise them on where to get tools and things like that, and they can continue at home.
And they can come back as well for an advanced course?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Well, let's get going. Let's make some spoons.
Oil-free, baby.
So Jo is showing us the techniques, and then we have a go ourselves and making our own spoon. I had such a lovely afternoon in the middle of busy London in this beautiful forest, meeting Max and Tom and learning how to make my own spoon. If you want to know more about the workshops Obby does, have a look at www.obby.co.uk. You might even want to join them as a teacher. I'll be back next week with a new video here on the Handmade Home channel. Hope to see you then.